Morning guys, as promised, part 2 of your first time in jail. A little bit of background. I've been in I think it's about 10 different prisons. I've been in maximum security prison. The first time I was in prison was 86, so I would have been 16, possibly 17. That was young offenders. Man's prison the first time, Wormwood Scrubs, when I was 21. I've been in Belmarsh, Highdown, I've been down the block in Rochester, been down the Seg in Wandsworth, been down the Seg in Highdown, been down the Seg in Belmarsh. So I did used to get into quite a bit of trouble in there, when I used to be in prison. But I will say one thing. I always found the best way to do a sentence is to keep your head down and graph your ticket. So let's get on with the story. I left it yesterday. We'd gone through reception, we'd done our property, we got our prison number, and we're sitting in the reception, in the big cell there with the other cons, and we're waiting to see the doctor. Like I say, I'm doing this from experience as a substance misuser. Hang on, I just got to pause this. So carrying on. We're in reception. So when you're in that cell there, you're waiting for the doctor now. Sometimes you can get into a little conversation with some of the other cons. There'll probably be other cons there where it's their first time as well, just be careful of what you're saying to other people and all that sort of stuff, at this time, if it's your first time in. We're going through to the doctor. Like I said in the last video, it might not necessarily be a doctor, it will possibly be, a medical screw, a nurse, So they'll be the same as a normal prison officer, except, they'll have keys and all that, except that they'll have, the medical smock on rather than just a white shirt. Right. So when it's your turn to see the doctor, they'll come to the big cell where you wait in the holding cell, and you'll go into a little medical room to see the nurse stroke doctor. And then this is your chance, because they're going to ask you stuff like, are you on any medication, who your GP is, and all that sort of stuff, and they're going to ask you, like I said yesterday, if you're a substance user and all that sort of stuff. And this is your chance, if you do need some support, to say, if you're on any treatment out there for substance abuse and what the clinic is, and also your GP, where it is and all that sort of stuff. Because before they give you anything in these places, it's not like years ago now, everything's on computer, so they can check. They will check, with your healthcare provider and all that. And all the healthcare is run by the NHS now, so they're going to have access to your records anyway. But when I was doing prison, like I say, a lot of the time, I'd have to do cold turkey in there with nothing, no medication, no nothing, and I did used to declare, when I say declare, I mean I did used to tell them that I was a substance user. But what you got to remember is when you're telling these guys, the prison service, this, and you're possibly going to be doing a detox, you will be receiving Class A medication, for your opiate substitute medication, and if it's like methadone or Subutex, you will be registered with a Home Office, and that will stay on a Home Office file forever. So you want to think about that if you're possibly in the future wanting to go to places like Australia for a holiday or to emigrate and all that, because you're going to find that very difficult if you've been registered as an addict with a Home Office, but the thing is, when you're in them situations, you're just thinking about getting through the day, or possibly even the next couple of hours rather than, in the future. But, I just thought I'd mention that. So we're in the medical room with a doctor. So possibly you're going to be saying about whether you're on drugs or not, you know, if you're on medication out there like antidepressants, whatever, you will get that there, you know. Possibly, depending on what time of day you get to the prison, you might not get anything that night, but you will be all sorted out usually by the next morning. What used to happen with me is, you know, like I said before, you know, sometimes you go down the hospital wing, but usually it's straight onto the wing, you know, unless you're seriously ill. You know, if you can't walk, you know, they'll possibly get a wheelchair and wheel you down to the hospital wing. You know, I've gone through reception throwing up, vomiting, puking up, hardly being able to walk, you know, from withdrawal and stuff, you know, and I've still been put on the wing, you know. So yeah, so we're in with a doctor, you know, and after the doctor now, you're going to be going to the wing, yeah, whatever wing you're going on. So, you know, somewhere like HMP Highdown, maximum security prison, it was actually an ACAT, you know, back in the 90s and early noughties possibly, you know, but now it's a BCAT local, I think, you know. So yeah, you'll be going on to the wing. So when you've come out of the doctors, you'll be sitting in another holding cell, you know, depending on how many other prisoners are there, you know. There might be, say there was, you know, 10 different prisoners, you know, you have to wait for an escort from the screw, from the prison officers to take you to your wing, you know. But what you got to remember is this is all going to take a lot of time, you know. Depending on what prison you're in, you might get something to eat down at reception, you know. They might have a little hot plate down there or something, you know, to give you food, or possibly you have to wait till you get onto the wing. But if you haven't eaten all day, you know, that's if you want to eat. A lot of people haven't got an appetite by this time, especially if it's their first sentence, and if they're in withdrawal, they won't be wanting to eat. But if you're not a drug user, you know, you will get something to eat. Possibly even if you just get onto the wing and it's late in the evening, you possibly get a sandwich, or you'll possibly get nothing, you know. It's all different. So yeah, you're in the holding cell again, waiting to go on to the whatever wing you're going on, you know. In Highdown there's 4 different wings, or house blocks they're called, you know, and each wing has 3 different spurs, you know, and a spur basically is just like a mini wing, you know. A wing is made up of, say, 3 spurs, you know. So basically, yeah, you're in the holding cell now, and the screw's going to come, unlock you from the holding cell and whatever other, if there's other cons there, you know, and take you to whatever wing you're going to. And he'll possibly say you're going to house block whatever, 1, 2, 3 or 4, you know. And you know, you might not get called out straight away. It might be a screw will come and take some cons, and then it come back, you know, or a different screw or whatever. So basically, in maximum security, you don't go anywhere on your own. You know, you have to be escorted by a prison officer. So basically, yeah, you're going now onto the wing, right, from the reception. So basically, you've got to walk through the prison to get onto the wings. Sorry about that, guys, there's a train going by. I'm just sitting in the park at the moment, you know, getting a bit of fresh air. So yeah, you're going onto your wing, so you're walking with the screw through the walkways, you know, and this will give you a chance to have a look around the prison, you know. And when I say the walkways, these will be like concrete walkways, you know. In Highdown they're concrete walkways, but you can see around the grounds inside the prison and stuff, you know. And reception's at the gate, so you're going to be going to whatever house block or the hospital, you know, because like I say, you could be going straight down to the hospital, but in my experience it was always straight onto the wing. So yeah, right, so yeah, we're coming up through reception. So have a look around, you know, try and get your bearings to where you are, you know, because possibly, you know, you will be having to work and go on something called free float, in the next few days or whatever. But you'll be going onto the wing at first to do induction. Yeah, possibly there's an induction spur, which is what you possibly would stay on for the first couple of weeks. But we're going to go into all that. So now we're on the wing. We've gone through the prison walkway onto the house block. Yeah, so we're at the house block where we're going, and the prison officer, the screw, the kanga, whatever you want to call them, are going to unlock the gate onto the wing, and then you're going onto the wing for the first time now. Yeah. So right, guys, that's 10 minutes. I'll get this uploaded. And hopefully do another one, the part 3 later, but I will, it's pretty cold in my flat at the moment, so I think I've picked up a little bit of a cold, but you've got to carry on with these things. This is what I'm doing these days, YouTubing. So I'll get this uploaded. I'm going to go and have some breakfast and hopefully get the part 3 done. If not, it'll be tomorrow. And thanks everyone for the good, nice comments, and thanks for watching. I'll speak to you all soon. Thank you.